This is Rising Phoenix Podcast. I'm your host, Michael Rhodes. This podcast is for men struggling with an unwanted divorce. I interview experts on divorce, mental health, and I provide insights gained from my own divorce journey. You are not alone. Join me. Hello and welcome to the show. This is episode 213. This is a solo one, so let's jump into these new locations. First up, Washington, Sunderland. I know Sunderland from Ted Lasso. I believe that was the team Roy Kent started with as a young lad. So that's definitely in jolly old England. Episode 198, Managing Depression and Anxiety with Noah May is what you listen to. Never reached back out to Noah. Hope he's doing well. I admire the kid's bravery. Next up, Dilbeek, Flemish Brabant province. I have no fucking, that's got to be Swedish, right? Maybe I'm completely wrong. I don't know. I always think everything that I don't exactly know sounds, for some reason, it sounds Swedish to me. Anyway, you listen to episode 212. Next up, Castleford, Wakefield. No idea. I'm going to guess England. You also listened to episode 212, which was with Deborah Heiser. And last, but certainly not least, this one is really interesting to me. Londonderry, Derry City, and Strabane. Again, Londonderry suggests England. You listened to episode 1. That was a long fucking time ago. Man. There were things mentioned in episode 1 which will be touched on in a future episode. I recorded 11 episodes a couple weeks ago. Took a week off from my real job and recorded 4 days. I didn't record on Monday. I took that day off. And so Tuesday through Friday, I recorded 11 total episodes. I think Friday was the heaviest day. I think I recorded 4 on Friday. And one of those 4, it's around sexual shame. It's more around my shame, to be honest. As I've tried to do from the beginning, is just sort of focus on being open and honest and real, because I think that's what I'm drawn to, and I think that's just how I am. That's who I am. So I believe it'll come out. Maybe when I edit it, I'll be like, this is too, because there's some very personal things in there. So we'll see. I imagine it will, but I don't know exactly when. I have to figure out the order. There are some that I recorded, I think, that are fucking excellent. They're all good. I think they're all up to par, but there are some that are just, in my opinion, they're just fantastic episodes. So hopefully you agree. They'll be coming out, over the next 5-6 months or whatever. I wanted to touch on, so often, I think I've said this before, often when I come up with solo episodes, it's due to folks posting in the Facebook group mostly. And one of the things, and I'm sure that I've touched on this, I don't know how specific or exact or whatever, but I noticed, and I'm noticing patterns in folks. And I'll see guys that are stuck, continuing to do the same things over and over. I've seen guys get out of their marriage and get into another one and repeat a pattern. And I've seen guys who are in the beginning stages repeating patterns. And it got me thinking, why do we do this? And when I say patterns, I'll try and dive into it a little bit more, but it just got me thinking, why do people keep doing the same fucking thing over and over? Is there some kind of mechanism? Is there some kind of brain thing that is going on that is causing these things? That's causing, and I'm not saying I'm free of this. I think I've done a lot of work and a lot of healing, and I think perhaps I am, but I'm not 100% sure. I won't know till I know. But so I decided to do a little looking and searching and investigating, I guess, to see, because my theory is our childhood patterns are established and we repeat them for the rest of our lives unless we learn how to break them, heal from them, recognize them, which is the key. So when I dove in, sure enough, there's a concept called repetition compulsion. And it's something that is referenced in a book by Bessel van der Kolk, who wrote The Body Keeps the Score, which is a fantastic book. It's a very long book. It's a bit dry, a bit slow, but it is chock full of nuggets of information that will, in some ways, blow your fucking mind. At least it did for me. And it's a trap that our brain gets us in because it's looking for the familiar. As I mentioned a few episodes ago about how a lot of folks will not seek out healing or safety or work or whatever because the pain is familiar. And that kind of builds on this. If you grew up in a place where there's chaos or emotional distance, you have parents that were hot and cold. That's kind of like what I experienced. That becomes part of your subconscious. That's your blueprint. I don't know how to say it any other way. It's what you know, and a lot of times it's pain. And then that's why when I talked about, respecting yourself instead of loving yourself, because the people that love you, they give you pain and they give you reassurance, at least for me. And I think this is true for a lot of us. They give you pain and then reassurance and then pain and reassurance. And I think there's some of this that is natural because I know as a parent myself, I fuck up and then I apologize. But I think the difference is my apologies are centered around the exact thing instead of just, my dad smacking me in the face and then taking me out for pizza, not talking about it. You know what I mean? That's different, I think, than what I do. I don't smack my kids, to be clear, but like if I get pissed about something and I tell them to, give me your phone or whatever, or I mean, my kids are fucking awesome. Honestly, there isn't a lot of discipline needed. Um, but when I do things that are a bit sort of, or if I'm short with them because I'm tired or whatever, I'll address it specifically. But I don't think we got that. I think that we got just these mixed messages that were so unclear that we didn't really know where we were or where we landed with our parents, and therefore, when you get in a relationship, that kind of, we'll call it disrespect in a way, you tolerate because it's normal, you know. And when I look back and I think about um, my relationship, I see some of these things, and it makes me think, and it made me think like, okay, so I started looking at this. It made me think, well, I think I experienced this, but again, okay, why? So apparently, all the smart folks, and I can read, I'm not one of the smart folks, but I can at least read. They say that the pattern recreates because you're trying to. So if you're a kid and you're getting this type of treatment, and you do get a little bit of recovery or positive or whatever, you think that's something that you can recreate to. You think it's something you're doing to get that love back, but it's just them sort of being who they are, which is, hot and cold, or, not, you don't even have to look at it like that, just stressed and not stressed or whatever. Um, and so we feel like this, so this pattern becomes, we feel like dependent upon us, like fixing it. And if I just do this thing, then I get the love, right? It's this familiar pattern of, I'm a bad kid, I'll be good, and then I'll get the love and the attention. And you extrapolate that out, and when you become an adult, that becomes the pattern that you get locked into with your now ex-wife or whoever potentially you're with now if you've done no work. And so what can that look like? Because I started thinking about, okay, well, if we're recreating this pattern, we don't really feel it until there's a divorce, until there's the ultimate rejection. So I started thinking about, well, how many times did this happen in a micro way, in a small way that I just didn't really notice? Like the time that she she got I don't know if I should say this shit out loud. Just because I don't. I mean, it's been years. There ain't shit she can do to me. She got an inheritance at one point, and it wasn't. We're not talking millions. We're not talking anything of real significance here. Trust me. Um, she got a chunk of money, and she didn't tell me. She hid it, and then she did tell me. But like, I was just like, oh well, that's okay. I understand. What? Why did I just tolerate that kind of shit? Or the time where she overspent, and money's the thing that's just popping in my head for whatever reason, where she overspent during like we had a budget for Christmas, and she like, I don't know, it wasn't terrible, like $300 to $500, and she was like, hey, I need some more, I overspent, and of course you just kind of go, okay. I mean, at least for me, that's what I did. I overlooked these things, these disrespects, these actions that are clearly, I don't know if you want to call them red flags. I think so, but they're certainly not good behaviors of a spouse or a partner or whatever you want to call it. And so it's not obviously the ultimate sort of rejection, the ultimate you're not good enough sort of part of the story is the end. But if you really look back, these things didn't just come out of nowhere. I mean, there's and not that I was perfect either. Don't get me wrong. I'm not a victim here, but there was multiple. If you're with someone for 15 years and it leads to a divorce, I'm sorry, but there are many moments throughout that entire relationship, looking back, where you can go, that was kind of fucked up. Why did I tolerate that? And some folks can say, well, because you loved, maybe, or and you were recreating this pattern, this I'm not good enough, but I'll make it up to you so I can be good enough. If that makes any kind of sense. Certainly does to me. And so this blueprint, this template, as I like to call it, is ingrained in you. It's your blueprint, it's your template, it's your almost like your like a lock and key, right? Like you pick this person because your lock fit, right? Because if you think about if you if you are with someone, right, and there's a lot of this sort of back and forth, chaos, maybe not chaos is probably a strong word, but there's difficulties, right? And that fits your template. That fits your lock goes into that fucking key, right? And so you stick with it because it is a repetition compulsion. We're going to keep doing this thing over and over until we finally get them to see that I am worthy of love, that I am a good person, that I am a good boy or whatever. And I think you first you have to really take a step back and ask yourself these are hard questions, and I think it is without a therapist. I don't know how you or a coach or someone from an outside perspective. I don't know how you see these things, but you have to ask yourself: did I fall in love with the person, or do I fall in love with a pattern? Am I trying to repeat a pattern, and this person provided that? Because if you think about, I'm going to be honest. I obviously dated people in the past before my ex-wife, and even after that didn't fit that template. That didn't. There was the wrong lock. Key wasn't working. And I didn't stick with them because they might have been boring or dare I say normal. And that didn't fit, right? That didn't allow me to continue this. You make me feel like I'm not good enough, but let me prove to you that I am good enough. Now, hopefully I know I've done some work, but hopefully I've done enough work. And I think I have because I think I kind of talked about this with dating, right? In the templates and stuff. And I think that I haven't been that opposite thing for other for the women I've dated. I haven't been the right lock, so to speak. Like they haven't done enough work to not want to repeat these patterns because I have no interest in a lot of things. I have no interest in putting someone on a pedestal ever again. I'm not saying I'll never love someone, but I'm not going to put you on a pedestal. That's not going to happen. Sorry. I'm not sorry. Um, I'm also pretty sure, and this is more of a challenge for me because I'm more of an avoidant that I would withdraw and not be a good partner in that manner. And I don't have any interest in that either. Sorry, not sorry. Uh, I think that I don't know that I'm secure. I think I still have a bit of the insecure at times. I think I said this before, but I'm blessed with both, like whatever they call it, disorganized. I think I have a little bit of the dismissive or the avoidant or whatever, and then a little bit of the anxiousness. But I think I'm making my way to secure, and I think if other people haven't, that blueprint, that lock and key, they're not fitting. And if you're able to see that, and I don't think this is delusional, maybe it is, but if you're able to see that and go, okay, well, I'm not able to find someone because, again, this is a me thing, because I've done enough work that the people that are out there, and let's be honest, it's not the cream of the crop, right? They're married. The people that are out there are the people that have struggles in this, and more than likely, I would guess it's an anxious avoidant dynamic. And so if you don't fit that template, if you're not that lock and key, if you don't fulfill their repetition compulsion, you're not going to work. And so therefore, if you take half of the married couples and bam, they're done. Okay. They're the people that I'll be I'm the part of that didn't know how to fucking do it. Again, not all my fault, although that's a whole separate discussion. Um, so then what's left is these kinds of people, these anxious and avoidant people, these people that aren't very good at relationships. Let's call it spade a spade. That's what we are. Sorry to say, that's true. But that's one of the purposes of the podcast is to learn and to understand and heal and grow so we don't repeat the fucking patterns of the past. And so if you take that half of the married population that they didn't fucking work out, they're probably not very good at relationships. And then hopefully a small percentage of that, I mean, it would be nice if it was all, but it's clearly not, are going to do some work and try to get to a secure type of attachment style and not repeat these patterns, to not recreate the ability to heal from a wound that was created in childhood. I don't know how many people are out there like that. It doesn't seem like a lot, but I haven't talked to everybody. I don't think. No, definitely not. There's a lot of fucking women in the world, so I certainly haven't had the opportunity to date all of them and to know if this. And it's just a theory. And again, when I think about these things, and you think about narrative and stories, and what am I telling myself about myself in this story, in this scenario, I'm not the bad guy. Not that I'm perfect, not that I don't have work to do, but at least I'm not painting myself as the problem or the victim even. I'm just a dude who's trying to work on himself so that the next relationship that does come is a good one, great one, maybe even. And I think you can't get to that if you don't first recognize your own patterns. What have you done in your past relationships that were unhealthy? How can you change that? Why do you do that? Maybe is the better question, to understand it, to understand that it didn't just come from you, that you just don't know how to be in a relationship or you don't have the skills. No. You were given a template, a blueprint, a lock and key that was kind of damaged a little bit. And once you recognize that, can pinpoint that and understand that a little bit better, then I think you can avoid it from happening. Or at the very least, you can see it happening and put a stop to it. Hopefully. That's all I got for this one. Until next time, take care of yourselves and take care of each other. Thank you so much for watching and or listening. If you are feeling alone on this journey, please join our Discord server. Becoming a Phoenix is not a solitary act. It is one achieved through community. Our Discord server is just that, a community of men fighting to survive, thrive, and rise from their divorce. Go to risingphoenixpodcast.com/Discord for information on how to join and what is contained in our Discord server. Please join us.